Hey guys, it's Stacy from Girl Gamer, and I'm here to talk to you today about a unique game called This War of Mine from 11-Bit Studios. It's not your typical war game in that your goal is not to battle as a soldier, but to scavenge and survive as a mere civilian. You start off with nothing. Your party has a home base, which you will use as shelter, and you work there to craft items while making the place feel like an actual home in the process. The gameplay functions on a day-night schedule, with daytime being for crafting and preparation, and nighttime being for scavenging. The game overall has a very dark feel, and being a management-style game, you as the player become engrossed in the effort you've put into building your shelter and keeping the character safe. There is death, there are tough choices, and your actions will affect your party. I happened to let one of my party members die, and the others in the group never let me live it down. They were depressed about it for the rest of the game, but honestly, who could blame them? He was our fastest runner after all. This is your shelter. Starting off empty, but for piles of rubble, you need to sift through to find supplies. I started out with 3 party members, each with their own strengths, such as speed, enhanced training skills, and 1 great cook. Here you can see the game interface with day, time, and temperature in the upper left-hand corner, and your party members down in the right. The various icons represent piles of rubble that haven't been sifted through, doors that need to be lockpicked, and cupboards that need to be searched. You begin with a simple workshop that can be upgraded with scavenged resources to be able to craft more items later on. Beds give the characters a place to sleep, chairs provide small comfort, a wood stove gives off heat, a radio gives news and information from the outside, as well as music to help calm your characters. A stove allows you to cook food, a workbench allows you to craft tools, and you'll also need a rainwater catcher for water. This is also where you'll craft consumables, such as fuel and water filters. Everything uses valuable resources though, so you must weigh your options and decide what is most important right now. The stove and workbench can also be upgraded to craft more items and use consumables more efficiently. Placing an item will then prompt a character to build it, but space is pretty limited. In the workbench, you start off being able to craft a crowbar for breaking through doors, lockpicks, a shovel to quickly get through large piles of rubble, and a crude knife. More options come from upgrading, but I didn't get to see them in the demo. Nighttime is when the real action of the game happens. Only one person can be sent out to scavenge, and they have limited space in their backpack inventory. Different characters have different amounts of space, and being that Pavle was a fast runner, I usually sent him. Since I only had 1 bed, only 1 person could sleep in it, but that's okay, as it's important to also have someone stand guard in case of intruders. You're able to choose a location to explore, with more places becoming available as time goes on. Each place differs in which materials you'll find, how dangerous it is, and who's staying there. Some people are more dangerous than others, so you must put into consideration which weapons you're bringing and medical supplies you have back home. Tip: do not engage in combat if you have no medical supplies to heal yourself. Sorry, Pavle. Exploring is dangerous, and right away you'll notice your character creeping along slowly so as not to be heard. It's important to note before you leave for the night which resources you need the most of, so you can focus on only collecting those. I tended to grab everything and later replacing it with the items that I really needed. Peeking through doors grants limited vision of what's on the other side, but sneaking and hiding become your main methods of scavenging. I believed the red pulses indicated movement of someone in the house. However, this house was empty, so I'm still unsure of their purpose. You'll need to return to the same location numerous times to explore all the rooms and collect all the items, but thankfully, on the location selection screen, it gives you a percentage update of how much you've collected from each location. Unfortunately, things don't always go well while you're gone. Intruders frequently attempt to steal your items, many times successfully, and oftentimes wounding your party in the process. A nightly update screen will detail everything you missed while you were away. Visitors often show up at your door, such as traders who will stop by every couple of days or so. This is a good time to get rid of resources you may not yet be using in exchange for more important ones. Don't think that finding a seemingly precious jewel will help you out much with a trade. No one needs gems when war has broken out. Thinking I was big and bad now that I'd crafted a basic knife, I chose to scavenge a house with people inside. When I was discovered, I attempted to battle, and while I managed to take one guy out, hopefully making a return trip to this location easier, Pavle was severely wounded in the process. Was slaying a man over some basic resources really worth it? I left this woman crying. Pavle now can barely stand and begs for help that I simply cannot provide without medical supplies. Would he be able to survive? After one long day of suffering, Pavle died. The other party members were extremely depressed after Pavle died. They complained and were sad and wondered what they could have done and if only they could have helped. But more folks started to show up at my door and were asking to join my party. Pavle's death was tragic, but the war continued to rage on. These people needed my help, and honestly, I really needed theirs. Despite being an emotional and heavy war game, this War of Mine is actually a lot of strategy and a lot of fun. You could pre-order it now at Game Republic for a special price of $17.99, or look for it when it's released sometime next year. Thanks from Girl Gamer and myself, One Dizzy Penguin, for watching our video. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter for more updates.